Hi and welcome to episode 2 of the Yarnlovers podcast. I am Lindsay. I can be found on Ravelry as Caliastra, and I can be found on Plurk, Facebook and Twitter as Yarnlovers. We now have a Ravelry group called Yarnlovers. If you would like to join them, please feel free. We now have 11 members since last week, which is good. And I would like to give a shout out to the 3 members who have introduced themselves. The first of whom is Jake's Knitting Mama, secondly Ebony Hooks 5, and third Danu56. Thank you very much for introducing yourself, for saying a bit about yourself. It's nice to read who is joining the group. We do have a competition this week, which you have been automatically included in by default. So if you want to know more about the giveaway, then please listen to the end and you will find out more about that. I would like to apologise for the sound quality in this episode. I have broken my microphone and I'm having to rely on the webcam mic, which is a bit dodgy sometimes. This week I have done not very much knitting at all. We have all been ill with various things. We're a house of plague. The little one has been off school because he has slapped face syndrome, which is parvovirus B19, I believe, similar to chickenpox. He has a rash on his face and he's fine otherwise, but he's contagious, so he's off school. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have been sick for 5 days now. I'm getting a bit sick of it, excuse the pun. But hopefully it should be resolved soon. My stomach feels very bad at the moment. So I'm on a diet of water, which is not very much fun. Obviously because the little one's off school and I may be interrupted, so please forgive the 5 flying past in the background. The big one is also off college with a migraine, so we're not having much fun today. I've not picked up my knitting needles in 3 days, I don't think. I've been watching TV and it's really not like me to watch TV. I don't generally do that at all. So I've not been getting on very much. I have no finished objects, obviously, because I've not been knitting. So I have made some progress there, and I have, first thing to show you is the second sock, which I had just barely started last week. There we go. I've got one repeat done so far, which is, if I remember correctly, 24 roses. So I've got a way to go yet, and hopefully I'll get more of that done tonight. If you don't remember, sorry, that's the Kukui Mona pattern, and it's knit in Sheepy Time Knits Panda Feet in the Ruby Slippers colourway, and obviously there will be more information about these in the notes. The second thing I worked on was this. I just barely started this last week, and I believe, if I remember correctly, after recording the podcast in the afternoon, I finished it that evening. I went so quickly, I was amazed. It's obviously fingerless knit, which I am very happy with. I like that. That's good. It's a good size. I didn't follow any pattern in particular. I still need to weave any ends, but that's fine done. I have cast on the second one, but I've not even joined it in the round yet. I've just cast on the stitches. So yes, stripy. I've not really knit with self-striping yarn before, apart from the first pair of socks which I ever knitted for myself. I will show you them at some point. They're probably the worst thing I've ever made. The yarn I used was again self-striping, but it's orange and yellow and brown and purple, and I don't know why I bought it. And when I knitted it up, it's really pretty horrible. I don't like the colours at all. And I will show you it at some point. I will have to remember. But they're in the laundry at the moment. They're very comfortable. But you know, they don't look very nice. But then no one sees them because they're silks. The next thing I have to show you is the thing which I was avoiding, the Rock Island shawl, which I had made a mistake on and needed to rip out. Now, this isn't actually technically on the needles anymore because I have ripped it out, and it's the only thing I did. This is the edging, which is very, very long. What I need to do is go back along and pick up all these Yarnlovers. If I remember correctly, there's 147 per side. It doesn't take very long. It's just a bit fiddly, and I've not had a chance to do it. But I have made progress in that. I've gone backwards because I was avoiding doing it for a very long time. And that's the Rock Island shawl from Brooklyn Tweed, and it's knit in dye for yarn silk in the For Weddings and the Funeral colourway. I have gone on a bit with the other shawl, which is there. I rather like how this is going. It's turned out to be fairly boring to knit, but it's not as exciting as I thought it would be. But I can watch TV and do it at the same time, which is good. I am currently on about row 60, so I did another 35 rows or so. Obviously they're getting larger, so it takes a bit longer. I didn't mention this last week, but I don't know if you can see there, it's all tangly. This is knit holding 2 strands of lace weight yarn, and the colour changes are gradated, so you use 2 strands of one and then 1 of each, and then 2 strands of the next one and then 1 of each, and so on. So I quite like that effect, it's quite nice. I'm coming up for another colour change soon. I think it's 7 or 8 rows, so it shouldn't be long before I'm into the darker colour. I like the lace, I think that's quite pretty. It does say on the pattern that it's true lace and that it's got a pattern on both sides, but I really don't like the pattern on the other side. It may be different once it's blocked, of course. As for needle sizes, these are 5mm needles. I can't remember the US size. I suspect it may be an 8, but I'm not used to using US needle sizes, so they're 5mm. But I will write it in the notes. I generally use Knit Picks or Knit Pro, same thing. Interchangeable needles. They were the first ones I ever bought, and I found them very good, and I must get the whole set at some point. Now, acquisitions. As I said last week, I got a whole load of yarn, which I've still not completely sorted through yet, but what I have here, actually this bucket. I have Knit Pick Straw, which is obviously sock yarn. This is the Peapod colourway, which is rather nice. It's very bright green. It is pea green, which is rather nice. I like bright green. And I have, excuse me, straw in buckskin, which is a tanny brown colour. It's not as warm on the webcam as it actually is in person. It is a bit more brown than that. This would probably make a very good pair of men's socks. And I have 2 of these, which is Straw Multi in the Meadow colourway, which is purple and a limey green, and it's not black, it looks black, it's actually brown. Obviously it's a fingering weight again, so nice pair of socks. I don't think it's self-striping. From what I can remember, it's not self-striping, but we'll see how it goes. And 1 more of these. It's Stroll in the Sorbet multicolour, which is again lime green. I've gone for the lime green, I don't know why. And brown and very, very bright peachy, orangey, salmon pink colour, which is quite nice. It lifts it a lot. Again, I don't think it's self-stripping, but we'll see how it knits up. Now, on to the exciting stuff. In the mail this week, I got yarn. I got, first of all, this, which again is a warmer in person. This webcam's not very good at picking up reds. It's a very deep purple. And it is Sheepy Time yarns, and it is actually a special Snowflakes Club yarn, but it's not this month's club yarn. I bought it because I am in this special Snowflakes Club. It is a yarn called Flakety, which is quite interesting. It's 2 plies of merino and 1 ply of superwash merino. And the idea is that the 2 kinds of yarn pick the dye up very differently, so there's a flake through it, because the superwash yarn is a different colour, slightly different colour than the normal merino, which is quite nice. There's 100 grams and it's 181 yards. I don't think she does this base anymore, but it's very nice. And it's the Not So Sour Grapes colourway. I got this with this week's club yarn, this month's club yarn, sorry. Actually, the Special Snowflakes Club is every 2nd month, so there won't be another one for another 2 months. I am okay to show this because you actually, with the Special Snowflakes Club, you choose your yarn, so you know what you're getting beforehand. You have a month, and you choose your yarn, and then it arrives a month later. This is called Grey Matter. It's greys and browns. Again, good for men's socks. And this is Pearl Necklace. And I don't know if you can see that very well. There we go. It's a very nice yarn. It is like a little string of pearls. I've not knit with this before, so we'll see how it knits up. But it's got a lot of texture to it, which is nice. It's different than the normal yarn I'm used to. And I think this one's new for her, so as I say, we'll see how it knits up. It did look more bright in the photographs that she sends out for you to choose from, but it is pretty brown. And the next thing I was very excited about, I had butterflies in my tummy. I was so happy with this. This is this month's Into the World sock yarn. Now, if you do not have yours yet and you're in the club, please look away now because I am going to show this. I think I'm okay to show it because most people have theirs by now. I received this a week ago, and because I'm in the UK I get it fairly late, so they were sent out 2 weeks ago or over 2 weeks ago. Here we go. It's very pretty. I'm going to unravel it actually just to show you. This is Ulundi sock yarn, which is 3 plies, superwash merino. There are 490 yards to 100 grams, and as I say, it's a February club yarn. Colourway is Mercy Hartigan. It's a Doctor Who inspired yarn for any lovers of Doctor Who out there. That's very beautiful. It's obviously grey into almost black, but very, very dark grey, and then very deep red, which gets brighter into sort of fleshy tone. I will send a link to or put a link in the notes to the inspiration picture, which was actually chosen by one of the other podcasters, Erin from Mummy Needs Yarn. So yes, I was very, very excited about that. Now I may as well go on to the giveaway as I'm getting through my pile of stuff here. I have 2 skeins of yarn to give away, not to the same person but to 2 different people. I have this one and this one. These are Sheepy Time yarns again, in the Pixie base, which is 50% superwash merino and 50% tencel. There is 390 yards on each of these. This one is Orchid, and it's very pinky, pink swan lilacs. And there's a little bit of blue in there. It's very shiny, which is nice. And this one is Berry Pie. It's not showing up very well, but there are greens in there, and purples and blue, and again it's very shiny. It's the same base. If you would like, please, what you need to do is, if you would like to either comment on the blog or just leave a comment on the thread for the podcast, or if you would like to introduce yourself on the Ravelry group, then you will also get an entry from that. I will do 1 skein from the blog and 1 skein from the Ravelry group. Just for fairness, I will obviously include the people who have already introduced themselves, the 3 people, so G's Knitting Mama, Ebony Hook 5 and Daniel 56. If you would not like to be entered in it, then you 3 please let me know. But I'm assuming that you would. I'll just choose someone at random. I'll use a random number generator next week, so you have between now and next Wednesday, which I can't actually give you the date for. It's the 29th of February at the moment. Happy leap year and happy birthday to everyone whose birthday is today. I had a boy in my class at school who, I think when we were in the last year of school, was 4. He should have been 16, but he was 4. So there we go, that's the giveaway. I'll also put details in the notes and on the Ravelry group. If you would like to join the Ravelry group, then please do. Obviously, the more the merrier. And if you introduce yourself, then I will try and give you a shout out the previous week on the podcast. So that's all my knitting stuff for this week. I'm hoping to receive more yarn in there. It was posted a while ago, but it's not arrived yet. International shipping can take a while. It either takes 2 days or it takes 3 weeks. There's no happy medium, and you never know when to expect it. In other news, the other thing that I was thinking about this week is that I would like to teach people how to knit. Now, I am not talking about anything advanced. I don't want to teach people how to knit lace, and I don't want to teach people how to do Vera, obviously, because I've only been knitting for a year myself, so I don't particularly feel confident in doing that. I have in the past trained a lot of people in different things, IT for example, and one of my previous jobs was one-on-one training, so I would like to do it. I'm not quite sure how to go about this. If anybody has any ideas, then please let me know. I obviously would need to do it locally. I would like to do it in person. The reason I would like to do it is that I learned to knit from YouTube videos, and I came across many pitfalls because I didn't have all the information available to me, and I would like to pass it on to someone else. I think that knitting for me has been so rewarding, and I would like to teach other people how to to do that. I was in a store the other day which sells a little bit of wool. It's mainly for quilting. I was there buying fabric, and I saw someone walk in and pick up a ball of wool and say to the woman at the front desk, I would like to learn to knit, but I don't know what needle size I need, and would this be enough for a scarf? And the woman told her the correct needle size and told her a ball of wool. But the woman at the desk was not a knitter, she was a quilter, so she didn't have a huge amount of idea of what she was talking about. So I would like to pass this information on. I'm thinking that the best way to do this would be to put an advert up in the local shops, like the fabric shop. The only issue is that I don't have a venue. I would look into church halls and things, but I would also go out to someone's house to do that. So as I say, if there's any suggestions, then please let me know. I should probably get back to my sick children now, so I shall say farewell. I will just check that there is nothing else that I wanted to talk about in my notes, and I don't think there is. Okay, thank you to everyone who's commented about last week's podcast. The response was very overwhelming. It took me a long time to get through everything. I've had clerks and emails and Twitter responses and comments on Facebook and comments on Ravelry. Please, if you would like to give feedback or any suggestions, either PM me or email me or clerk me or Twitter me or Facebook or anything. Leave a comment. In the Ravelry group, there is a thread up there for feedback and suggestions. If there is anything that you would like me to review, or anything that you would like me to talk about, or any tutorials that you would like to see, then please let me know. Have a very good week. I will see you this time next week, as long as I have not died by then. I shall now go and see to the little one. Goodbye.